Recording in progress.
And you just want nothing to do with me.
Well, it's just like,
Good evening. I would like to welcome Pastor Billy Lowe with City Church, who will lead us in tonight's invocation.
All right, well, let's pray. Heavenly Father, we pause for just a moment to give you thanks. Thanks for the changing weather. Thanks for the safety that we enjoy in this city. Thank you for our first responders. Lord, thank you for this city council. Like we pray every single month, we pray that you would give them wisdom, guidance, and discernment as they lead our city. And we ask that you would honor the decisions that are made as they honor you. So we pray all this in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. Thank you. I would like to call the regular meeting of the Milton City Council for Monday, March 16th, 2026 to order. The city encourages you to review tonight's agenda carefully. Each citizen who chooses to participate in public comment must complete a comment card and submit it to the city clerk prior to the agenda item being called. While the Milton rules allow a speaker to turn in their comment card up until the clerk calls the agenda item, once the agenda item is called, no more comment cards can be accepted. Will the city clerk please call the roll and make general announcements?
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Be happy to call roll for the March 16th, 2026 regular City Council meeting. I would like to remind those in attendance to please silence all cell phones at this time. As the Mayor mentioned, if you would like to make a public comment, you are required to complete a public comment card prior to that agenda item being called. All speakers will identify themselves with their name, address, and/or organization before beginning your comment. If you are representing an organization, a notarized affidavit is required, stating you have the authority to speak on behalf of that organization. If you have not done so, please bring your comment cards to me now. Demonstration of any sort within the chamber is prohibited. Please refrain from any applause, cheering, booing, outburst, or dialogue with any person speaking. Anyone in violation may be asked to leave. Mayor and Council, as I call roll this evening, please confirm your attendance. Mayor Peyton Jamison.
Here.
Councilmember Brian Dolan.
Here.
Councilmember Doug Haney.
Here.
Councilmember Juliet Johnson.
Here.
Councilmember Jan Jacobus.
Present.
And Councilmember Phil Kramer.
Here.
Mayor, for the record, Councilmember Carol Cookley is absent. You do have a quorum. Would everyone please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance?
I pledge allegiance to the flag
Of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, next is the approval of the meeting agenda. I would like to add an executive session to discuss personnel, land acquisition, and litigation. And I would also like to move new business agenda item number 26-087, appointing a new member to the MSAC committee to immediately follow the consent agenda. Do I have a motion?
Mr. Mayor, I'll make a motion to approve the agenda as proposed.
Second?
Okay, I have a motion from Councilmember Cranmer and a second from Councilmember Johnson to approve the meeting agenda with the additions and the removal of the new business item. Please place your votes. I don't see it on our screens.
Can you flip the screen?
There we go. That motion passes unanimously. Okay, next is general public comment. Do we have any general public comment?
We have one, Mayor.
Okay. General public comment is a time for citizens to share information with the mayor and the city council and to provide input and opinions on any matter that is not scheduled for its own public hearing during today's meeting. Please remember, this is not a time to engage members of the city council in conversation. When your name is called, please come forward and speak into the microphone stating your name, address, and organization for the record. If you will please call the first public comment.
Mayor, I invite Ben Kopaka to the podium. And just a reminder, I will announce when 1 minute remains, and then I'll announce when time expires.
Good evening, council members, city staff. Thank you for the opportunity to speak tonight. Ben Kopaka, 14115 Bill Road. Over the last few months, we've talked about public notice on projects and awareness. We have the Red Road Improvements meeting coming up next week on the 25th. Just discussing with neighbors, there's 21 driveways and homeowners that front on Red Road. There's 37 property owners who have property touching Red Road. And then there's 2 neighborhoods that empty out onto Red Road. The city has done a really good job on Facebook. I've heard good feedback there. They also have the web page on the website that gives a lot of details, which is great. However, there's been mention of mailers going out to each property owner, direct outreach, and then even direct emails, and just feedback from the community. None of those have been received. We're 8 days out from that meeting. So just wanted to give some on-the-ground feedback of what might still be missing in the public awareness process. Thanks.
Thank you. Do we have any
Mayor,
other
that
public
concludes
comment?
general public comment.
All right, thank you. With that, we'll now move on to the consent agenda. Will the city clerk please sound the items?
Mayor, that first item is approval of the March 2nd, 2026 regular city council meeting minutes, agenda item number 26077. Our next item is approval of a promotional assessment center services agreement and addendum number 1 between the city of Milton and the Georgia Associations of Chief of Police for a promotional assessment center. It's agenda item number 26078. Our next item is approval of a change order number 5 to the Facilities, Trails, and Parks Maintenance Agreement with Triscapes LLC to add maintenance to the Milton City Park and Preserves newly constructed trail green space and provide a dedicated passive parks maintenance crew. It's agenda item number 26079. Our next item is approval of a swimming pool management agreement and addendum number 1 with Dynamo Pool Management, Inc. to provide operations and management services at the Milton Pool. Agenda item number 26080. Our next item is approval of an acceptance with authorization for the mayor to sign and record a quitclaim deed from Fulton County, Georgia, related to property located at 12615 Birmingham Road, Roswell Road. It's agenda item number 26081. Our next item is approval of subdivision plats and revisions. The first development is 120 Doris Road. It's land lot 950 and 995. It's District 2, Section 2. It's a minor plat to combine 3 existing tax parcels consisting of 1.4626 acres, 1.9235 acres, and 0.3839 acres into one parcel totaling 3.77 acres. Our next development is 16440 Hopewell Road. It's land lot 249. It's a District 2, Section 2 minor plat to subdivide the principal parcel into 3 new parcels consisting of 1.38 acres, 1.527 acres, and 1.438 acres with a total of 4.345 acres and a density of 0.69 units per acre. It's agenda item number 26082. Mayor Jamison?
Thank you. Do I have a motion to approve the consent agenda?
Mayor, I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda as read.
Second.
Okay, I have a motion from Councilmember Haney and a second from Councilmember Dolan to approve the consent agenda as read. Please place your votes. Okay, that motion passes unanimously. Okay, we will now move on to the new business item. Will the city clerk please sound that item?
Thank you, Mayor. That new business item is consideration of a resolution appointing or reappointing members to the City of Milton Sustainability Advisory Committee by appointing a board member for District 1, Post 1. It's agenda item number 26087. Mayor?
Thank you. I will turn it over to Councilmember Brian Dolan.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Council. I'd like to take an opportunity to appoint Holly Pirano to our Milton Sustainability Advisory Committee. Holly Pirano is a proud resident of Milton, has lived in the area for over 25 years and resides in the Deerfield area. Her passion for sustainability has began in her childhood when walking the Fort Walton beaches in Florida, where she and her mom would pick up the litter together. Those early experiences instilled in her a lifelong appreciation for protecting the environment and caring for the places we call home. Holly believes that meaningful progress in sustainability starts with education, awareness, and community engagement. She is passionate about helping residents understand how everyday actions such as recycling and reducing waste can collectively make a significant impact. Holly is eager to support initiatives that empower Milton residents and citizens to take part in preserving the city's natural beauty and building a more sustainable future for generations to come. I want to welcome up Holly for the appointment for Sustainability Advisory Committee, and also want to recognize that her son Eric and Andy are here as well.
Thank you. With that, do I have a motion?
Mr. Mayor, I'll make a motion to appoint Holly to the Milton Sustainability Committee.
Second?
Okay, I have a motion from Councilmember Cranmer and a second from Councilmember Johnson to approve the appointment of Hallie Prano to the Milton Sustainability Committee. That is agenda item number 26-087. All in favor, please place your votes. I was going old school there. Okay, that motion passes unanimously. So congratulations, Holly, and if you'll come on up, I'll swear you in. I do solemnly swear and affirm I will faithfully perform the duties of Milton Sustainability Advisory Committee, and that I will support and defend the charter thereof, as well as the Constitution, the laws of the state of Georgia, and of the United States.
Oh, you want all of us down there or just Brian?
Oh, yeah. That's perfect. Yeah. I know. Oh, yeah. No, they should have.
Well, Holly would like to say a few words, I think.
No, I just want to say thank you for this opportunity. These issues, I'm very passionate about recycling and responsible waste management. Recycling education has been around for decades, yet participation in many places remain voluntary, and not everyone chooses to take part. Cities across the county have shown stronger approaches can make a real difference. For example, San Francisco has developed one of the most successful recycling and composting programs in the United States, and now diverts the vast majority of their waste away from their landfills. While San Francisco is larger and far more densely populated than Milton, our community has the same opportunity to think creatively and lead by example. San Francisco began developing its recycling and composting programs decades ago and is continually refined to move closer to zero landfill. I realize meaningful change does not happen overnight. It will take time, thoughtful goals, and pilot efforts with willing neighborhoods and businesses to develop a model that works for Milton. As we explore solutions, we consider not only stronger recycling efforts, but also programs such as composting and rainbow initiatives that help conservatives resources and reduce waste. Thank you so much for this
Thank you.
opportunity.
Appreciate it. Okay, we will now move on to reports and presentation. Will the city clerk please sound the first item?
Mayor, that first item is a proclamation recognizing the City of Milton's finance team and Government Finance Professionals Week. Mayor Jameson?
Thank you. We all know we have dedicated professionals in our finance department, and we are proud to recognize their hard work, expertise, and commitment to serving our community. It is my honor to read this proclamation. Whereas the City of Milton takes great pride in its responsible, rigorous, and responsive handling of government finances, And whereas Milton's finance team works diligently to track every dollar and cent in and out of the government various funds. And whereas they also make concerted efforts to educate, engage, and work well with businesses or citizens, both during one-on-one interactions as well as through multifaceted campaigns and detailed reports. And whereas the Government Finance Officers Association has given awards for every Milton annual comprehensive report, popular annual financial report, and budget book that the city has ever completed and submitted for recognition, including all three over the past year. And whereas this triple crown of honors exemplifies Milton's commitment to being accountable, transparent, and fact-driven, a pivotal attribute that is also evidenced in the city's ClearGov transparency portal. And whereas Government Finance Professionals Week is a statewide recognition of individuals who safeguard public resources and in so doing help to ensure accountability and stability. And whereas Milton wholeheartedly joins this celebration, applauding our finance team for their routinely above and beyond top-notch service to citizens, business leaders, colleagues, and the community at large. Now, therefore, we, the mayor and the city council of the city of Milton, recognize March 16th through the 20th as Government Finance Professionals Week, and especially those who serve this critical function so well in Milton. And this is given under my hand and seal of the city of Milton, Georgia, on the 16th day of March of 2026. So I'm going to have Miss Bernadette and Miss Stacy come down and take a picture with council.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Yeah, you do. There you are.
Get closer to each other. Thank you so much.
Now, I'm going to brag on these two. How long have you been here, Stacy? How long have you been here? 13 and a half to 19 years. So thank you so much. A 20-year pin, right? Yeah. Okay, will the city clerk please stay on the next item?
Mayor, that next item is State Route 9 temporary gravel path stabilization. And I would like to welcome up Mr. Rob Del Ross, our Deputy Community Development Director.
Good afternoon, Mayor and Council. Pam, is there any way you can switch the screen?
Can you switch to podium view, please? Hold on, let me do it for you. It is.
It might be going. There we go. Good evening, Mayor and Council. This next item is an update for you on an initiative that Public Works has been working on for the last several months. As you're aware, we're actively working on revising our concept for State Route 9. Our webpage has gone live. Our team has started meeting with several commercial property owners and the Lake Laurel HOA board. Our traffic analysis is underway. You're going to be hearing a lot more about this over the next 3 to 6 months as we attempt to finalize the city's concept by the end of the year. Due to the length of time it will take to re-engineer the corridor and acquire all of the property, Crooked Creek has requested a temporary pedestrian connection down to the intersection of Bethany Bend where the Publix is. Here is a little bit of background information on the request. This is a short-term measure designed to provide a safe walking path until the widening is under construction. You'll note that we received GDOT approval for the work in the state right-of-way back in October. Staff has reviewed options and recommends we construct a gravel path within State Route 9 right-of-way. The length will be approximately 2,200 feet of 5-foot wide gravel path. You'll see based on the map on the left, the sidewalk already exists in front of the preschool. So we're looking at 2 segments of gravel trail north of the preschool up to Crooked Creek and south of the preschool to connect to an existing sidewalk that I'll show you a picture of in a second. Here are some pictures showing you conditions in the field. There will be some areas like the picture in the right where we'll be able to be far away from the road and still keep it within existing right-of-way. The picture on the left is one of those telltale signs that we have showing where there is demand for a sidewalk that doesn't exist today, a worn dirt path. Also, some areas along the corridor where we are very constricted and had to come up with some creative solutions on how to build a short-term safe path that is also within right-of-way. Picture on the left is a drainage inlet. Picture on the right is a little bit difficult to see on the picture, but there's a significant vertical drop between the road and the bottom of that fence that we're going to be creative as far as providing that safe path. More pictures showing you looking south. This is where we'll be tying the sidewalk into the existing, tying the gravel path into the existing sidewalk. Some engineering details of what we'll be constructing briefly. 5-foot gravel with some stabilized shoulders on both sides. Most locations being far away from the road at the back of the right-of-way line as far as we can go. Other locations where we have a couple of pinch points being up against existing curb. And a visual for what the path will end up looking like. This is a gravel path we installed on Webb Road near the intersection with Cogburn several months ago. This isn't in place now. It actually is being disturbed by the signal, by the turn lanes that we're building there. This was a request from the Kensley subdivision for the kids to be able to walk from Kensley up to the traffic signal in order to cross Webb. Next steps for us, we are under construction advertisement for this project. We'll be receiving bids in April. Anticipate bringing you a recommendation to award the contract in May. And that concludes my presentation.
Okay, council have any questions for Rob?
Oh, looks good. Thanks, Rob.
Thank
Yep.
you very much for
I
pushing
know
it
this has
forward.
been asked for quite a long time, so I'm glad we're kind of moving forward. So good stuff.
Great.
Thank you.
Thanks, Rob.
Thank you.
Okay, will the city clerk please stay on the next item?
Mayor, that next item is discussion of drone delivery operation. Our senior planner, principal planner, Shuba Jangam.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Shubha Jangam, Principal Planner for the city. The community development staff was approached by Wing and Walmart partnership regarding a potential drone delivery service that would operate from the existing Walmart location on Windward Parkway. The staff is here today to get input on such an activity from the mayor and council. Walmart and Wings team are invited here today to give you a brief presentation and explain how it all operates and answer your questions. After their presentation, the staff would like to get the direction from you on how it could work for Milton. Before I hand it over to the Wing team, I wanted to make a few notes. First of all, the Federal Aviation Administration, FAA, regulates where and when the drones can fly. The ground operation that dispatches the drone, the site, though, can come under the purview of local authorities. The proposed location for the launch and landing of these drones is at Walmart on Windward, as I said, and you're looking at the map here. The location is in Milton, the shaded part of this map. And I'm just having this zoning map right next to it, just to show you that this is a part of Deerfield Farm-Based Code. And then I would like to invite Wing's representative here to give you a brief presentation.
Expecting to see drones.
Good evening, members of council, mayor. Thank you for having us here. My name is Glenn Wilkins. I'm with Walmart Public Affairs and Government Relations. I'm going to, excuse my voice is kind of going. I'm just going to give you a real quick overview of how we got here, how Walmart got here, and the plans that we have and what we're doing. Catherine Lovett will then take over from Wing and talk about all the specifics. But at Walmart, we're constantly working to figure out how we can better serve the customer. One of the things that I've learned over the years, and I hate to give credit to them, but Amazon did a great thing with, with their Amazon delivery. And one thing that we figured out, or we knew, is you have to know what the customer wants before the customer knows they want it. And I go back to Amazon Prime. As soon as we got it, we started looking like, how did we live without this, right? I mean, it's delivered to your house in under 24 hours in some cases. Walmart started years ago, and I believe you're all aware of it, but we had online pickup where you could order whatever your shopping order was online. Walmart Plus members for Walmart Plus, it's like our Prime version. You could order ahead of time. Everything was picked for you. It was delivered to your car. You had a select time that you would show up to the store. It was delivered to your car. They load it for you and you take off. Don't even have to go inside the store. After that, we moved on to delivery. We realized that was the next step. People expected it. Unfortunately, COVID really got people excited about that delivery. We have seen great growth in our online and our Walmart.com orders. So as we move through the delivery program, we started looking at that next step. The next step is people expect their products to be delivered even quicker. I like to joke that I'm a Gen Xer. I come from the microwave society where I get a Hot Pocket, I put it in the microwave 3 minutes later, and I'm burning the roof of my mouth and all's good. My kids are Gen Z. I say they're the 5 gig society. They go out there, they order online, and they go outside and wait for it to arrive. We see that a lot. We also figured out that there was a way that we could do it. We also knew that we didn't want to reinvent the wheel. We have great partners with Wing. Wing has had a great reputation around the world, and we've been partnering with them across the country. Currently, we've been operating in the Dallas-Fort Worth area for over 3 years. We have 10, 12 stores delivering, 15 stores delivering over in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. Currently, we have about 8 locations here in Metro Atlanta that are currently delivering with drones as well, and have seen great success, and the customers have been very pleased with that as well. So nothing changes as far as Walmart goes on the product that's in the store. It is limited to weight, so 2.5 pounds or under, we won't deliver anything under that weight. There is a parameter of how far the drone can drive as well. Another thing is that the deliveries are free to the customer, and there is no markup on the merchandise. So if it's a $5 box of cereal in the store, it's a $5 box of cereal to be delivered to that customer's house. We're looking at deliveries anywhere between 10 and 15 minutes from the time of order. So we've seen, as I said, great success. If you think about 2.5 pounds, I'll put it this way, think about like a rotisserie chicken. That's about as big as we can get into that box right now. But the convenience has been very well received for those small orders that you may forget. You know, you've come home, you're going to have a salad, you realize all the lettuce is wilted, but you've already got everything going. You can order that head of lettuce and it's delivered to your house, and you can still have dinner on time. There's many other options, realities there, but I'm going to leave it at that, and I'm going to turn it over to Catherine, who can talk about wings specifically. Thank you.
Good evening, council members. My name is Catherine Lovett. I am the manager of local policy and community affairs for Wing, and I live in Atlanta, Georgia, and West Midtown Atlanta, so not too far away from Milton. I'm very happy to be here to talk to you a little bit about Wing and tell you about our technology. As Glenn mentioned, as a company, we've been working with Walmart since 2023, but we started in Google back in 2012 as a project in Google's Moonshot Factory, and then became an Alphabet subsidiary in 2018. So you all may be familiar with Waymo, the cars that are around the Metro Atlanta region. That is our sister company, as is Google. In 2019, we became the first company in the United States to receive a Part 135 air carrier certificate from the FAA. And that's something that we're very proud of, to be the first in the United States and to continue our safety track record hand in hand with the FAA. Also, as you see on the screen, we are also the OEM, so we get a lot of questions about the aircrafts that you see in the air. So we are the original equipment manufacturer, which means that we design, manufacture, and operate all of our aircrafts in-house. So we have a fantastic team of aerospace engineers, mechanical software, all of those that build the aircraft from the ground up. Even the boxes that we design for delivery are done in-house. So we're really proud of the work that we've done. We've been flying since 2018 overseas in countries like Australia, Finland, and then here in the US, we're currently flying in Texas, North Carolina, here in Georgia, Virginia, and Arkansas, and we hope to be launching in Florida very soon as well. I'm going to play a video for you now so that you all can see what the service looks like from a customer perspective. This video is showing you the Walmart that is based in Frisco, Texas. This was our first ever site with Walmart. The fenced-in area that you see there is what we call a nest, N-E-S-T, that houses the aircrafts. Similar to a tarmac at the airport, that area is considered an active flight line where you have to have a FAA credentials or certification to be inside of that fenced-in area. Now, as you see here, customers are able to place an order in the app. The Walmart team that's inside of the store picks those items, walks it out to our team who loads it onto the drone. The drone is now climbing up to a cruising altitude of about 165 to 200 feet, moving at a speed of 65 miles an hour. So as Glenn mentioned, most of our customers are getting their orders from the time they place it to their front door in about 5 to 15 minutes. Now, if you watch here, when the drone arrives at a customer's home, it does not land on the ground. It will lower down to 25 feet where it hovers, lowers the package down gently. The customer has been tracking the order in the app, and they're able to come outside to receive it. Then the drone will return back to the nest where it lands on its assigned charge pad to recharge for the next order. As mentioned before, we work very closely with the FAA on our operations for every city that we operate in here in the US. We work hand in hand with them to make sure that we're setting up clear restrictions for the aircrafts in our system. Our aircrafts are highly autonomous, which means that they're able to use GPS coordinates and LiDAR data to travel and build their flight plans in real time as customers place orders. We're also able to set up, as you see on the screen, geofencing around things such as municipal airports, international, regional airports, Dobbins Air Force Base, even helipads and heliports. We're able to make sure that, for example, if there's a hospital that uses a helipad for a helicopter, we can set up fencing to keep the airspace safe and clear at all times. In addition to that, we also have a team of pilots who are Part 107 certified, who monitor the airspace during operating hours to ensure that the aircrafts are moving safely to and from each nest location. So very similar to air traffic controllers who are able to track aircrafts on radar, our drones are all equipped with antennas that allow them to be tracked on radar, not just by our team, but they can also receive signal from other aircrafts when they're in the air. This helps us to support what's called airspace deconfliction. So if the drones need to be grounded or if they need to adjust altitude, they're able to do that in real time. We're very proud of our safety record here in the US and abroad, and that we have not had any head-on collisions, no property damage, no bodily harm caused by our aircrafts in any of the communities that we operate in. And as a company, we have crossed over 750,000 residential deliveries to customers globally. So we're creeping up on 1 million deliveries, and we're really proud of that safety track record for every community that we operate in. In addition to that, our aircrafts are able to use camera sensors to support navigation and depth perception. So when you saw in the video how the drone lowers down from 160 feet in the air to 25 feet without crashing or hitting any obstacles, it uses those camera sensors to measure the distance to the ground. Now, we always get questions about privacy and safety for every community that we're operating in, and we are very proud to say and very confident in saying that our aircrafts are designed for delivery, not for any type of surveillance. So those cameras that are on the aircraft, again, do not have any live feed nor audio. So we always make sure that communities know that we can neither hear you nor see you during that delivery process at a residential home. This system, again, helps to support residential delivery and safety in every community that we fly into. As I mentioned before, as the OEM, we have a fantastic team of aerospace engineers, everyone from military to NASA that we have working at our company to make sure that the aircrafts are designed to be as quiet as possible, as lightweight as possible as they enter residential communities. On the screen that you see here, you'll see there's the two heights that I've mentioned. The first one being 165 feet for that cruising altitude. So at that height, what you're seeing here is showing you the environmental sounds or the decibels that the aircraft would make at that height of 165 feet, which is about 56.5 dBA. At that particular cruising altitude, the drone's noise or sound profile is quieter than a microwave that's in your kitchen. And then when the drone comes in for that delivery process and it's hovering at about 23 to 25 feet in the air, you'll see that the drone is still quieter than a car moving at 40 miles an hour that's outside on the road away from your house. So in addition to the safety features that we've built on the aircraft for safe navigation, we've also made sure that the drone, as best as it can be, is as quiet as possible as it's entering and exiting. That delivery process that you saw in the video takes no more than 30 seconds, and we've made sure that the drones are able to get in and out quickly without disrupting any of the beautiful neighborhoods that we enter. The last thing that I'll note about the residential customer experience is that we're also able to allow customers to select what is called their delivery spot. So very similar to Uber and DoorDash, when you order an Uber, you have to put your PIN to tell the car where to find you, or with a Waymo now, the Waymo needs to find you using a PIN. The PIN is basically GPS coordinates. The same applies for the order experience through the app. So depending on your property, whether you have a front yard or a backyard, our team will go in prior to getting approval for a Nest location, and then they're able to build in those delivery spots for the single family homes that are in the community. And then from there, you're able to use that delivery spot to select and confirm that that is where you want your drone to deliver. Now, before checking out in the app, you are required to select a little box, but basically it's a waiver that confirms that your delivery spot is clear. And there's even cute little animation that shows like a baby, a car, so you're not leaving a baby sitting in the delivery spot, or a dog. All of those things are required before you can even check out and pay through the app experience. And another safety feature that we also have is the tether that was on the drone. So if that, for example, gets snagged on a bush, or Miss Wilson's dog runs out and tries to grab the package in the tether, anything that pulls on that tether more than one time, the tether will simply detach from the base of the aircraft and float to the ground while the aircraft stays in the air. So we've designed that, again, as a safety feature to make sure that the aircrafts are always in the air, never landing in any residential community. And again, that goes back to the excellent safety record that we have for all of the communities that we've been in. Lastly, as you council members are thinking about drone delivery here for the city of Milton, for all of the locations that I've mentioned, from Texas to Australia and everywhere in between, the big thing that we hear from customers on why they use our service is the convenience and the speed. Most major cities here in the US, traffic is a problem, especially during rush hour time. We often see an uptick in order delivery times, typically during the lunch hour. We think that's often for people working from home who are ordering salads, fresh fruit, and then in the evenings and on Sundays as well. Our top items that people order from the Walmart locations are produce, and then the second is over-the-counter medications. So as we're heading into allergy season, we typically see an uptick in the cold and sinus and allergy medications. We know that yellow pollen is coming, and so being able to get that allergy medicine when you have a sick kid at home in 5 minutes versus taking 15 to 20 minutes to drive to the store helps families ways to, again, spend more time together, be more convenient, and also keep them off of the road and keep everyone safe. A few things to note as well about our delivery process. Currently, we do not deliver prescription medication because the aircrafts do not have cameras on them to identify that you are the prescription holder. We do not deliver that at this time. Additionally, we do not deliver any flammable goods. That includes tobacco products and alcohol products. Those are FAA regulations because of the aircraft, just like you are similar to an airplane where you take the battery packs out, those type of things. We don't do that for delivery as well. Another thing to note too is that as part of our process prior to launching in any city, we are very big on doing community outreach and education. As a company, we know that drone delivery is new. A lot of communities are just learning about it or hearing about it. And so we don't believe in just launching the drones in the air without making sure that we're coming out to talk to communities. So we've done everything from Easter egg hunts, which are coming up, and those are my favorites, back to school festivals, summer camps, community town halls, summer concert series, you name it. We love to get our team out to be able to talk to residents, bring the drone out so they can see it, touch it, ask questions, and they feel like they've had a chance to meet us in person before the drones and go into the air. So I offer that to you as well to know that for the city of Milton, that is something that would not be negotiable for us. We plan to do that as part of our site launch process for the city as well. And with that, I can show just a close setup of what the site looks like really quickly. This is showing you all the inside of what we call the Nest, N-E-S-T. What you're seeing here is that each of our drones has an assigned charge pad that it sits on. So we often get questions about battery life. Does the battery die on the aircraft? Our system is designed to make sure that does not happen. So after every order, the drone is able to sit on its charge pad, just like you would for a cell phone that sits on a charge pad on your nightstand, and the drones are able to recharge. We set up our drone sites to have at least typically 12 to 18 drones and pads so that we're able to cycle those drones out as they're recharging. The big QR codes that you see that are next to each drone are how the drones are able to identify their assigned charge pad. So as they're entering and exiting from the Nest, the drones use their camera sensors to read those QR codes, and each QR code is unique for each charge pad. This again is another great safety feature that we've built in to make sure that the drones are entering and exiting every property safely without any issues upon re-entry and exit. And then this again just kind of shows you a close-up of what the Nest looks like, but I will jump ahead to show you all the setup at the Walmart here in Milton and Windward Parkway. And so you'll see that for the setup that we're proposing, the Nest location is that red square that's on the screen, and it would be to the side of the store out of, I guess that's what, the southeast? Yes, okay. On the south corner of the southern corner of the store, and would allow our team to set up the drones in this particular location. We've made sure, and Rachel, our engineer on record, is here to answer any questions if you'll have any about that today. But with that, I can stop to see if there's any questions specific to Wing or the technology.
Quick question. Do you have a video with the sound of a drone? What the sound is?
I have one on my phone, but not in the presentation.
Okay.
I'm happy to share that with you after.
You have any council questions, discussions? Go.
As an equestrian community, I can't think of anything more equestrian unfriendly. I think you'd have a lot of horse owners real upset.
Yeah, which question, does a citizen have an ability to request not to have a drone flown over their property?
So unfortunately with the airspace, that's federally regulated. So that wouldn't be something that you could do per se unless you reached out to the FAA, but typically it would go to like their community team for them to review. And that's typically their response.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I know the issue with the FAA, but yeah, I know that maybe citizens are like, hey, not over my house, right?
Right.
So
Yes.
I'm sure you've encountered that before.
And we have, when we get those type of questions, we always give people, there's a website that people can go to reach out to the FAA if they're interested. Yes.
So there's no opportunity to follow streets or roads. It does go point A to point B.
Yes.
Yeah.
So the system is designed because we're not following pathways, but it's designed to take the fastest route. And so the drones calculate that in real time based on the order address.
And as you said, 120 to 200 feet, but 165 is, I guess, average. Is there any
So yeah, 165 to 200 feet is our typical cruising altitude. So that's where we look at as what we call our sweet spot.
Time of day that you do?
So currently our operating hours are daylight. And so for the Georgia market right now, that's 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. We do adjust those hours once daylight saving time. So as we continue to get more daylight, then we're able to push those hours back. And then once we get into the winter months, we scale that back up. And typically it closes in the winter months around like 6 p.m. once the sun starts to go down.
How about weather impact?
So we're able to fly in winter conditions, so kind of like the icy rain today, rain conditions. We typically will mirror the weather traffic and what the regional airports are doing depending on the nest location. So if there's a severe storm warning that's coming in, heavy gusts or heavy winds, tornadoes, et cetera, we will pause if need be in the event of inclement weather, and we notify customers through the app. Similarly, in the winter months, if we hit those sub-zero freezing temperatures as we did in January, we will pause as well and notify customers. The freezing temperatures typically can impact the charging pads, and so as a safety feature, we make sure to pause if needed.
Can you go back to the slide that, excuse me, showed the sound
Yes.
and kind of how it registers? Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So cruising at 165, it's the same sound as what you would hear your microwave if you were standing outside.
Yes.
What's the top one? So Nest operations at 100 feet. So is that when it's hovering over, or?
So when the drone comes back to a nest location, it will kind of hover. So it'll be like, let's say if it's at 200 feet, it will lower to about 100 because then it's reading to identify the QR code. Yeah. And then it lowers down to its charge pad.
Is there a minimum like lot size, whether you have townhomes here in Crabapple or 1 acre subdivisions? Do you deliver?
So we
wherever?
have a geospatial team that does that assessment once we've confirmed that we have approval to go into a location. And so they'll do a property assessment within a 4-mile radius of the nest location. So any single family homes that are within 4 miles of the nest, they go in and identify what they would call the delivery spot. That would be ideal. Now we know for a lot of communities, and it's not just Georgia, we've had the same in Texas, there are new communities and developments that are popping up. So as that happens, our team is also works to make sure that any new communities, they try to backfill those as best as they can.
Kevin, is there a limit how far the radius of the delivery?
So our limit that we set is 6 miles, and that's for the aircraft safety. So we don't go currently past 6 miles. And for any new locations, for example, all of the 8 locations that we're operating at here in Metro Atlanta, right now our range is 4 miles. So we're keeping it as a company, we like to stay well within safety limits to make sure that everything is operating smoothly. And then as you all have noticed with the changing and fluctuating weather, we're learning the weather here in Georgia as well, which is different than states like Texas.
Catherine, 2.5 pound limit, is that correct?
Yes, for this particular aircraft, the WB, the weight capacity is 2.5 pounds. Now, if a customer needs to go over that, we can send 2 drones if needed. But once you get to, let's say, like 5 pounds, over 5 pounds, then you're typically being kicked over to say, like, would you like to do curbside pickup or to do the delivery service, the home delivery?
And I assume there's no location limits, meaning if you were in a neighborhood and 100 people called in, there could be 100 drones at any point.
So we would stagger, yeah. So just because of the number of drones that we have, and then also the battery cycle for the aircrafts, if that ever did happen, we would have to stagger them to allow for the battery cycles to let the drones recharge.
All right, Catherine, I like the technology. I think it's cool. But I'm going to pose the question to you because I'm sure this isn't the first time you've heard it. Call it air pollution or sky pollution.
Mm-hmm.
I know that's coming. That's a concern of mine. How do you address that?
So we got that question a lot when we first started in Texas. And it's interesting because now in the DFW Metroplex, not only do you have Wing, you have companies, a company called Flytrex, Zipline, Amazon also has their drone company. And then as of, I believe, like this week, Fort Worth and Dallas have also now approved what are called eVTOLs, so basically air Ubers that they'll be using for the FIFA World Cup games this summer. So I always let communities know that while we think about it as air pollution, I look at it as evolution, because where we're going as a society is that the roads are congested. And so we need different modes of transportation to not only get people food, medication, and supplies, but it also helps to take cars off the road, keep people safe, and it's helping to cut down on CO2 emissions. So our aircrafts are all electric versus using hundreds of vehicles to get those small items that you need. We're helping to support the environment around you and keeping families safe. So while yes, it's a different transition and focus, I always give the example that if you think back to 2009, and if I walked up to you and said, hey, Phil, I'm your driver. You've never met me before, but I want you to get in my car and trust that I'm going to get you to the airport safely. But you don't know me. And you probably would have thought I was crazy. But now we don't think twice because you have an app that tells you who your person is and you get into the car. And we have hundreds of cars that are now on the road driving for Uber and Lyft. So it's an evolution of that concept, but without putting people in danger on the road and also still allowing people to get access to the things that they need safely and quickly.
Just for context, 6 miles would get you Birmingham Crossroads, Peachtree Parkway, Mountain Park, and then almost down to middle of Roswell and Johns Creek. So 6 mile radius is pretty big.
Oh, yeah. As the crow flies.
100 people
right?
on horses that are all going to fall off at the same time.
Catherine, is this sounds like still proof of concept. If you agree, when do you think this technology, whether it's through Walmart or any other supplier, becomes mainstream?
I think it is getting there. So we Wing also fly for DoorDash for a number of different states as well. And then companies like Zipline and Amazon are also using this service very regularly. So you're going to, and I, as an Amazon girl, I cannot wait to get drone delivery for those things versus waiting for a driver. And they've already seen that there is a demand for that. While yes, we're still proving kind of like the shared airspace use case, if you will, the demand is already there. And I gave the eVTOL example for you all because for the city of Atlanta, they are also doing research on how to bring eVTOLs here to Metro Atlanta so that rather than you going from Atlanta to Milton by car where it takes an hour, an eVTOL would take you 15 to 20 minutes. So those things are coming. We've already got eVTOL companies that are out in like Covington and South Fulton. And so those will be eventually coming within the next 3 years. So I think it's just a matter, and I always say this to cities when I meet with them, of thinking of how do you want to position your city to embrace the future for residents and generations to come.
So my main concern is the sound, the
Yes.
noise. I know my wife and 3 kids might have 30 drone deliveries a day. And multiply that by 42,000 residents. So first, I would like to see what the noise is. And this
Yes.
is one of those things where I think it is inevitable at some point. I just don't know if Milton wants to be the lead person in the city to kind of take that leap. But definitely opening it for, council wants to hear more about it. But if I can know about the noise and the number of drones on average, a city like Milton has done over the past years in your other areas, I would be more inclined to maybe take a
So I don't have the numbers. I would have to do some data pulling on that one. But we did talk with your planning team. And so we would love to invite the city council, if interested, to visit one of our Nest locations here in Georgia. I think the closest one is the Woodstock Walmart Supercenter. It's like 151 is the address, but it's maybe about 25 or so minutes from here. And we could definitely have you all come out to see the drones in person, see the Nest in person. It's opportunity also to hear them and to do a delivery where you can see what that delivery would look like at a customer's home.
Yeah, I would agree with Mayor. I think my biggest concern is the sound. If an airplane flies over and I'm in my backyard, I don't notice that. But there's a handful of times drones have, and I'm not okay with that. Because I
Understood.
don't, granted, I also know it's probably my brother-in-law and he's got his camera on and I'm like, what are you doing? But it's still like where we live, I don't expect to hear anything in my backyard. The only thing I
Understood.
expect to hear are my boys or the neighbor's horses, maybe the neighbor's kids if they're down by the pond. But I don't expect to hear anything, and I don't want to hear anything.
Understood.
And I think that's probably the biggest concern for most people up here.
Got it. Well, again, if interested, we would love to have you and host you all on a date and time that works best for you all, and we can get you out to see it in person and then hopefully continue the conversation from there.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Thank you so much for your time.
Great job with your presentation.
Thank you so much.
Yep.
All right, will the city clerk please stay on the next item?
Mayor, that next item is Safety in Action Grant Update. Our Deputy Community Development Director, I'm sorry, our Deputy Public Works Director, I said that wrong to begin with too, didn't I? I am so sorry. Deputy Public Works Director, Rob Del Ross.
Thanks, Tammy. Good evening again, Mayor and Council. This item is an update for you on our federally funded grant, which we've named Safety in Action. It's a follow-up to our adopted local road safety plan. We're in the final stretches on all three of these tasks and wanted to provide you a brief update on all three of them. Here is a brief summary on how we're funding this project. Milton is contributing $50,000 towards a $1.25 million effort. The grant project eligibility was also very restrictive. We weren't allowed to do any what you would consider traditional engineering design or major capital construction like building a sidewalk or building an intersection. We were limited to supplementary planning and demonstration projects, which leads into the definition of our three tasks that we ended up doing. The largest task of the three, task one, is our ADA transition plan. This is a federally required document for all government entities employing more than 50 people. I'm not going to get into a lot of these details tonight here because we have a lot of information on the other two tasks, but this will be before you. I'm hoping in May for adoption. We'll provide a better update for you on everything that this transition plan includes at that time. Task two was our demonstration project. So the intent here was to pilot low-cost initiatives to help safety and operations at two of our local roundabouts, Hopewell Bethany and Hopewell Thompson. Both of these intersections were chosen based on a preliminary review of crash data and concerns that we have received from the public. They're also both ours to avoid the complications of dealing with one of the roundabouts on a state route. Later this year, after installation of these countermeasures, one of the great parts about this demonstration is we'll be able to monitor the effects of the devices that we put in, which will then allow us to collect that data and turn those into recommendations to apply these to other roundabouts in the city. This map shows you the roundabout at Hopewell and Bethany. The numbers you see on the screen are the crashes that we've observed and recorded since the roundabout opened in April of 2023. We've recorded 12 over 2 years, which is not an extremely high number. Everything in blue, so 8 of those 12 were property damage only, fender benders with no injuries of any kind. So no major crash pattern here of note. All the numbers are relatively low. The next two maps show you behaviors that we're trying to limit at this roundabout in particular with some of our improvements. I'm going to start with the map on the left. The red line on the left is a common occurrence at roundabouts nationwide that we are always trying to monitor during our design effort and trying our best to minimize with striping and with the shape of our center island. The maps on the right show you, if you can pick up those red lines on the pavement, the maps on the right show you visually which approaches and exits see frequent heavy braking. Those red lines indicate aggressive braking. You'll notice that on the map on the right, you'll notice the northbound approach has significant red lines, as well as the area immediately around the speed hump. You'll also notice the queue of vehicles backing up, trying to make the left onto Bethany from the southbound approach, being affected by the braking approaching the speed hump. The next map shows you the same crash data description, except we're now at Hopewell and Thompson. This is every crash at Hopewell Thompson since the roundabout opened in May of 2021. The key number here is 19. If you see my cursor right there. The concerning number here is the 19 number. 19 right angle crashes from southbound Hopewell drivers and westbound Thompson Road drivers. This coincides with many of the concerns we've heard from residents that have both driven through it and live nearby. The next map shows you the exact same intersection, but with those thick red lines. You'll notice that the southbound Hopewell approaches are jumping out as a potential issue and an explanation for why we're seeing that crash pattern. The next graphic shows you our concept for what we're planning to install at Hopewell Bethany. We are already under advertisement for this scope. We're hoping to bring a contract recommendation before you in May. We're going to be adding basically the devices we have looking to the left of the screen. You're not going to be able to read the text on the right, but that's basically what the right's showing. 2 points I want to make here before we move on to Hopewell Thompson. First, we're not adding any additional lighting at the intersection. The crash data that we've looked at does show that we have at our roundabouts citywide, we're experiencing a higher rate of crashes at night than we would expect at national averages. So that tells you that lighting could be an issue. We're not recommending additional lighting at this time. Instead, we're hoping that the raised pavement markers will help in this area. RPMs are those little plastic devices. Sometimes they're white, yellow, red, little reflective devices that you see on the striping as you drive around the city. I'm sure you know what those are. So we're hoping that the RPMs does the trick to reduce those nighttime crashes. The second point is that we're going to be removing the temporary speed device, the speed hump. The owner at 2325 Bethany was having difficulty exiting their driveway with limited sight distance looking back to the left because of that wall. You'll notice in the area where my cursor is here, we're making a minor adjustment to the exit of this location to provide additional sight distance for the driveway looking back to the left, as well as sharpening up the curve and slowing vehicles down as they make the exit. We have also already contacted them in order to update them on our plan. Concept for Hopewell Thompson is next. You'll notice a lot of similarities. Types of devices that we're proposing there, like Hopewell Bethany. Again, no additional lighting here. One change that we're adding here that we didn't at Hopewell Bethany are speed reduction markings or optical speed bars, and that's the graphic you see at the bottom right. You may have seen these in some of our other municipalities. They're not currently installed in Milton. The basic idea is it plays with your mind, and as the spacing between the stripes gets smaller, it makes you think you're driving faster. So it's a psychological effect to make drivers slow down as the spacing decreases. We're going to be installing those along all 4 approaches as a pilot. That's it for task 2. Now we're moving on to task 3. Task 3 purpose was to develop project concepts to improve operations and safety along our primary 2 north-south local corridors, Freemanville Road and Hopewell Road. The countermeasures you see listed on the screen were recommendations from our adopted local road safety plan that we were looking for good locations. The map on the screen, the tables on the left, this is an idea of where hotspot crash locations are for Freemanville and Hopewell. I'm not going to review every single one of those locations, but as you can see, looking at Hopewell, there was a hotspot at Bethany before the roundabout came in. We're seeing hotspots at Francis, Thompson, most of the major intersections, and then you'll see scattered dots as well as on Freemanville. The tables on the left show you the total number of crashes over 10 years for both of those corridors. The next map shows you visually where our hotspots are from a vehicle speed perspective. So on the map of the left, it's a little bit difficult to see. That's why I created the map on the right. The map on the left shows you the average speeds on Freemanville and Hopewell heading northbound across all 24 hours of the day for the month of February in 2026, last month. It's a little bit difficult to see the difference between those red and orange segments. So we had generated just the orange segments on the map to the right. That shows you average speed above 45 miles an hour for the month of February. We're not going to show you every project, every concept here tonight, but this is a preview of some of the displays we'll be showing to the public on March 23rd. This is a pedestrian improvement and a crosswalk near the Glen Haven, Hopewell Place, and Vickery Crest subdivisions along the lower portion of Hopewell near the border with Alpharetta. Last week, we were able to send out direct mailers out to property owners along both corridors, advising them of the survey opportunity that we posted, along with the open house next Monday. The next steps for all three tasks are here on the screen. Again, the focus right now is to drive people to the survey opportunity and to invite them to come to our public outreach event next Monday. Staff envisions that many of the concepts coming out of Task 3 could be good candidates for funding for our next round of T-SPLOST. We have begun looking at recommendations for project category funding levels for T-SPLOST 3, and we'll be providing you further information on that in April. The timeline for T-SPLOST 3 is relatively short. We generally try to wrap up each city's project list in May, so that we've allowed time for all of the cities to put together their final documents, include it in an IGA, get in Fulton County's approval, and we typically are routing those IGAs in June and July to prepare for the referendum in November. That concludes my presentation. Open to any questions you may have.
Any questions for Rob?
Related question, but not specific to one of these. Do we have any plan for Red Road on either end? As far as it showed as hotspots on both ends of Red Road, both on the Freemanville and the Hopewell side?
So we do. We have an active project on the Freemanville side. So we are in design going into right-of-way acquisition for turn lanes at Freemanville and Red. We're planning on addressing that with our Red Road meeting next week, as well as the other end. So the last time we talked about Hopewell at Red was approximately 3 to 4 years ago. There was not consensus from the residents and the public for which concept to move forward at that time. So we decided to delay the conversation, and we're having it again as part of the Red Road corridor look. The short version of Hopewell Red is due to topography and utilities. The roundabout option is extremely expensive. So that's why staff originally years ago was leaning more towards turn lanes just from a cost perspective, but we'll be getting more into that next week.
Yeah, I do get asked about that one. So that's why I was asking. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Rob. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, we'll now move on to the first presentation. Will the city clerk please stay on the item?
Mayor, the first item is consideration of RZ 2601 for a text amendment to Article 8, Use Provisions, Article 11, Environment, and Article 12, Administration of the Unified Development Code for the City of Milton to update notice requirements for public hearings to match revisions to the state requirements. It's agenda item number 26083. And our next first presentation item is consideration of RZ 2602 for a text amendment to Article 8, Use Provisions of the Unified Development Code for the City of Milton with respect to limited food service restaurant in the Crabapple Form-Based Code Use Table and Section 8.5.13E, and to amend Section 8.7.1F regarding tasting rooms. It's agenda item number 26084. Mayor?
Okay, do I have a motion on the first presentation items? Going once.
I have a motion to approve agenda item number 26083 and agenda item number 26084.
Second.
Okay, I have a motion from Councilmember Jacobus and a second from Councilmember Haney to approve the first presentation items. Voting is open. Please place your votes. Okay. That motion passes unanimously. All right, there are no public hearings, zoning agenda, or unfinished business items. Moving on to new business, will the city clerk please sound the item?
That first new business item is consideration of a conflict waiver with Gerard and Davis LLP representing both Milton and Forsyth in preparing an intergovernmental agreement regarding maintenance of McGinnis Ferry Road. Agenda item number 26085. Mr. Ken Gerard.
Mayor, members of the council, thank you very much. As I occasionally do, bringing to you a conflict waiver with respect to my firm's representation of both Forsyth County and the city of Milton. Right now, as you'll see in like the fifth paragraph down, that the Georgia Department of Transportation is in the final stages of a road widening project, State Route 400 at McGinnis Ferry. It's a widening and auxiliary lane project. It also involves not only McGinnis Ferry, but Bethany Bend. And these, of course, form the dividing line between Milton and Forsyth County. It is contemplated as typically sort of a windup of these sorts of construction projects that the governments will come together to make sure they adequately explain the maintenance obligations of the various governments. And we will do that here, no doubt, the same thing. My proposal to you is I would be on both sides of that agreement. However, this is typically a non-controversial, very much more of a utilitarian agreement. If there was ever any area where I felt like there was a legitimate dispute, I would get out of it. But until such time, I think it is both an exercise of cost savings and just effectiveness for me to represent the city in that agreement. And if there's a problem, your city manager or I will address it and I'll get out. But otherwise, I think it typically saves both.
All right, thank you. Any public comment?
There are none, sir.
All right, any council discussion? With that, I'll open it for a motion.
Make a motion to approve agenda item 26-085.
Second.
Okay, I have a motion from Councilmember Cranmer and a second from Councilmember Johnson to approve agenda item number 26-085. Please place your votes. Okay, that motion passes unanimously. Okay, if you please call the next item.
Mayor, that next item is consideration of final plats. The name of the development is Bridal Field Phase 3. It's land lot 181 and 182, District 2, Section 2. It's a final plat of 22 single-family lots with a total of 45.464 acres and a density of 0.484 units per acre. Ms. Sandra DeWitt.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. I am here to present to you the final plat for Bridal Field subdivision. This is actually Phase 3 of the subdivision. As you can see from our vicinity map, this is located in the very northeast corner of Milton, actually along the border of Forsyth County and Cherokee County. In the close-up location map, you will see that Forsyth County is the east border. Cherokee County is to the north. We have Manor View along the west border and the manor just south of this development. Here's kind of an overview of the concept plan to show you the whole development as it lies in Forsyth, Cherokee, and Milton. So in Forsyth County, it consists of 51 plus or minus acres. Cherokee County is a total of 50 plus or minus acres, and Milton is 45.46 acres. And you can see we have 2 access points in Forsyth County and 1 in Cherokee County. Here's an overview of the site plan just for the Milton phase of the Bridal Field subdivision. We have a total of 22 single-family lots. This is zoned AG1. Our lot sizes are going to range from 1 to 4.86 acres. The water quality is a detention pond you will see located in the southwest corner of the development. We have public right-of-way being dedicated for a total of 3.52 acres. The fire service provided is an intergovernmental agreement with Cherokee and Forsyth County. Water service is being provided by Forsyth County. And sewer for the Milton phase will be septic. For the Cherokee and Forsyth County phases, it'll actually be sewer. So here are some site photos. You can see the front entrance of Bridal Field. This is actually the one that's closest to the Milton phase, right off Long Street in Forsyth County. We have some of the intersections of the streets located in the Milton Phase 3 and a photo of the detention pond. Here's kind of an overview of the plat that was submitted for staff to review. And as you see, a close-up of the infrastructure of the subdivision, you'll see that one of the reasons why the lot sizes vary is that we do have a stream buffer located along the western side of the development. So to meet the constraints of the buffers, they did have to increase some of the lot sizes. And actually, at concept, this was about 30 lots, and then they actually brought it down to 22 lots during the LDP phase. And just a couple of more images of the final plat submitted. At this time, I'll take any questions anybody may have about Bridalfield.
Kind of interesting. So no entrance in Milton. So they're gonna have a Fulton County bus, a Cherokee County bus, and a Forsyth County bus for schools.
That's what we hear, yes.
That's interesting.
I know.
But we don't have to provide, we're not doing fire or police because we don't have an entrance. Is that right?
Well, we will be providing those services, but we do have an intergovernmental agreement for the fire. Just whoever's closest will be the one that responds.
Okay.
How about police?
They're both. I've met
Okay,
with
they are.
both chiefs. There's a very easy access for
Okay, that's gonna
police
ask. We didn't have access.
and
Yeah.
and fire for that matter. But
Right.
there are agreements for fire for mutual aid on those as well.
Okay, great.
So
Do we
yeah,
have
it's
any
pretty
neigh-
accessible off Long Street, if you're familiar with that area.
okay.
Long Street just kind of, it eventually curves and goes into Forsyth County.
Mhm.
And then that's right where the Bridalfield entrance is.
Do we have any other neighborhoods that we do? Where else does this?
There's another one, I believe, up near that corner. In fact, we actually are primary responders to a small area of, I believe, Forsyth County. I'll get you that exact one. We did that probably about 6-7 years ago.
Okay, just wondering. It's interesting.
So the Manor subdivision actually does sprawl over into Forsyth County as well.
Okay. Do we have any public comment?
We do not, sir.
Okay. Any council discussion? With that, I will open it for a motion.
Mayor, I'll make a motion to approve agenda item number 26-086.
Second.
Okay, I have a motion from Councilmember Haney, a second from Councilmember Jacobus to approve agenda item number 26-086. Please place your votes. He beats you every time, Brian. All right, Brian,
Oh, sorry.
you're good.
He's pouting.
It's over
Yes.
there.
Skunk-
All right,
skunk
that
thing.
motion passes unanimously. Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate
Thank
it.
Thank you.
The council have anything to report on? Hearing none, we will now have a motion to adjourn into executive session to discuss personnel, land acquisition, and litigation. Do I have a motion?
Make a motion to adjourn to executive session?
Second.
Okay. Motion from Councilmember Haney,
Do you mind
second
if
from
you
Dolan.
vote, Mayor,
Online?
On that.
online?
Okay. Please place your votes.
There it goes. And confirm with me, I'm sorry, the motion and the
It
second.
was Haney and Dolan. Thank you.
Finally got one in. Tough crowd.
Like, I want to leave first.
Wait a minute. Yeah, weren't you and me up there with Commissioner Mills about your store up in the north part of the county? It's today. Yeah, and it was one that. Reading it going.
Give us the stinking answer.
We good?
Oh, yes, a lot of.
You want us to do electronic? You want us to do electronic?
No, that's
Okay.
all right.
Can I get a motion to reconvene?
Motion to reconvene?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, can I get a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Good night.
Thank you. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
We're going right
Good
back.
night.
in.